Good afternoon, David.
Hey, Mike. David Moore, Dallas Morning News. If, oh, I should record instead of play. Long night.
It's the colors of the yellow.
Long night. If Dak is able to return this week, you've now, Cooper Rush has started for you for 5 weeks. How did he perform in those games for you, and what did that performance mean for your team during this stretch?
Well, I'm gonna look at Cooper's performance. I think you start with the the wins. I think like anything at the position, it's the most difficult position in our game. So he kept us in full game plans, which you want, where you want to be with your backup quarterback. So, in most importantly, I think when you're able to continue to play like that, your offense has a chance to grow. And I think if you just spin that into last night's game, I thought the run blocking unit improved. The second level, finish, it's an area we continue to work on. Protection, a couple of protection adjustments that were made in the game. Credit to Cooper there. And then the passing game. So, there's some things we'll continue to work on. So I think not only winning games, number one, but I think the ability to conceptually stay on course, get through your menus of, what you work on at training camp, and and he gave us that opportunity, and should be recognized for that. So, he's put us in a good spot for Dak is going to be cleared here officially. I think I haven't spoken to the medical group yet, but the anticipation is for Dak to be cleared today or tomorrow, and then he'll be returned to practice on Wednesday.
Okay. I was going to ask you about Dak being cleared, but prior to before we start talking about, can you talk about the running game, especially the Zeke Elliott's performance in the second half there?
Yeah, I thought Zeke and Tony, but the physicality with Zeke ran was so impressive. I thought his ability to break tackles, and when you play in these outdoor games, I mean, he's built for it. And Tav was asking me about the first time I saw Zeke as a player, 2016, up in Green Bay, and I just remember the first time he came running down the sideline, you could just you could feel the power in him, and obviously his stature. So I mean, he's a physical runner, and that was clearly on display last night. Bless you.
Mike, Todd Archer with ESPN. What you say you can run the full game plan? You ran the full game plan with Cooper. What changes when Dak comes back, or about your offense? Is it?
Well, nothing will change. I mean, the only thing will change is how we view the defense we're getting ready to play, and how we want to attack them. I think like anything, it's I think sometimes people misconstrue when you say, oh, your backup can't run the whole game plan. It's not that he can't conceptually or mentally run the game plan. It's you got to remember Cooper's been here a while. I mean, these concepts, Kellen and Cooper have worked in the past together. So there's basic concepts that have been a part of this offense that he's ingrained in. He has a really good understanding. Has a high anticipation awareness level, and it's important because there's just certain things you stay. I mean, you get into game planning. It's just like you'll just throw it on the board and say, hey, I like this because they do that. Because my question, where's the training? The training in the routes, how the quarterback throws the routes. So all those things. So Cooper has played a lot of football in the system.
And is there any, when Dak comes back, to remind him you don't have to put it all on your shoulders, you don't have to be a superhero as you're coming back here?
Well, I think just like anything. I mean, you love that about Dak, but yeah, there's not a game plan that I know that I haven't been involved in as a quarterback. Is you want to run the plan, and then there are playmaking opportunities. I mean, that's what the scramble drill's for. I mean, that's what the scramble phase is for, and it's a part of how we practice and how we train. It the second part of every pass is a potential scramble opportunity. So I just think it's Dak needs to play his game if he goes this week.
Got it.
Jonah Javad, WFAA. Were there things that defenses did against Cooper that were different from what you'd seen defenses do against Dak Prescott last season and the year before, in terms of just how they would approach?
You mean just generally over the 5-game stretch here, or just last night?
5-game stretch versus Dak last season.
I would say not. I would say that just going to last night, I think you still see the combination coverages and And I think they really tilt their plan towards our tendencies. Obviously a run-heavy defense. The way they lined up to play last night. So I would say that was consistent with how we played this so far this year. But I think last year, offensively, you just look at our productivity. We're not the same offense this year we were last year. So we're growing to be that type of offense, and I'm excited about some of the growth that we've had.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How would you evaluate your defense from last night? You guys have been playing really well all year and had a little hiccups at times.
Well, I mean, the defense has definitely been the bell cow for us. But last night was not our best performance by no means. So I mean, if you look at the run game, there was a major emphasis going in. And I think just like anything, this is a unique offense that we competed against. Give them some credit, but I think when you look at with the things you prioritize and you emphasize going in. I think it's the first time we've had double-digit missed tackles. So, and that's something that will obviously be an emphasis going forward. And, we fully anticipate, especially with the Lions coming in here. I mean, this is an excellent team as far as running the football, and we'll definitely be challenged Sunday.
When you say double-digit missed tackles, is that more about what you guys didn't do, or is that about just the athleticism of Philly?
Well, when you talk fundamentals and techniques, it's always about what you do. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we call it the Cowboys the six fundamentals of football, and obviously breaking tackles and tackling was a huge emphasis going into this game, and we did not win that battle.
Hey Mike, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Kind of circling back to the offense. Semi Fehoko, going to IR was a little bit unexpected. What happened with him, and are you guys planning to maybe use that roster spot for like Damone Clark?
Well, I mean, Semi, he's been fighting through some thing, with his shoulder, and had it and dinged it there on Saturday's practice. So that that's the decision was made there Saturday in the afternoon. Yeah, and as far as I know, we're at 52 right now. We're still sorting through the medical coming out of last night's game, so I don't really have any roster moves for you.
Two things. You said if Dak goes this week, what does he need to do to go this week other than?
I mean, I think the final threshold is always, you have return to play, but then, then there's the timing. You got to get the time. I mean, that's for any position. I think when you look at players that return to play, I mean, they're cleared medically to play. But if you don't just totally feel the timing is not quite there, they may need another week. So I think that's why if you look at the regimentation of how we've been bringing Dak back, and obviously, following the medical process of it, but we've been trying to do as much throwing and particularly the routes on air, the individual route running as much as we can. Like I said, I think we've checked the boxes. And he's got a plan for tomorrow. Just visit with Dak before I came in here. So just a number of throws we'll have tomorrow, and then then we'll spin that into a full throwing load on Wednesday.
And the plan is for him to at least going in to get the time down to take the rest with the first team.
I think we've discussed this at length. We're on the clearance plan.
Yeah. The other thing, CeeDee Lamb on the final interception. Did he give enough effort? How do you look at that?
Oh, I think what way I saw it on the video, I think he felt he was down. The coaching point there obviously got to touch him down. I mean, it's he needs to touch him down on that particular play.
I think go out to the ball even before the interception. I don't know if he could have.
I don't recall that part of it, but yeah, I know the coaching point was to touch him down after the interception was made.
Dalton Schultz, did he get nicked up Saturday as well with Semi?
Dalton, was more of a when we walked off the field, Saturday. And really, I'd put Dalton in that timing category I just talked about with Dak. Medically, we felt like he was across the threshold there, but just the timing and everything, it just wasn't quite right. He was a full participant throughout the week, and obviously Dalton's a starter for us and one of our veteran leaders. So just didn't feel quite the timing was we just weren't quite right.
How'd you like those younger tight ends stepping up a little bit for you last night?
I thought the younger tight ends improved. I thought they had some really good opportunities. I think the biggest thing is they had moments, played like young players. You look at the footwork and technique and some of the things. Peyton is a twitchy, explosive young man that's doing everything 120 mile an hour. We just got to get him, down to the speed limit once in a while. So, but I thought they did a lot. I love their competitive spirit. Jake was productive. He did a really good job, particularly in the pass game. His opportunities, battled like hell in the run game, and and Peyton did some really good things too. But these guys need to play, they need to work, they need to padded work. They're young guys that their focus is on the fundamentals and techniques.
Kyle Yeomans, DallasCowboys.com. How would you rate the play from the left guard spot yesterday between Peters and McGovern?
Well, Jason didn't play much, so I thought Connor definitely improved from prior. I think Connor's now back being healthy. I thought this is the first. I thought we got to see the full Connor McGovern, so I thought he definitely took a step forward.
Mike, when you look at this stage, it's 6 weeks through without your starting quarterback, some of the other significant injuries you've had. The fact only 3 teams in the conference are ahead of you and all 3 are on your schedule the rest of the way, would you have taken that sight unseen given the circumstances getting here?
Thank you for the information. Haven't thought about it, haven't looked at it. I'm really focused on winning this next game, and to me, I think the first time that I will really look at those things is on the bye week. I know. With our bye week coming after the 8th week, I think that's a really a natural break in your season on all counts. I'm talking about the medical, the analytics, everything. So it's important for us to get this next one, especially after losing a division game. So, and that's always an emotional turnaround that you just got to stay on top of. So, especially coming off of a Sunday night and the traveling and all those little extra things that go into these type of games. So that's really where my mind is.
Ben Laufenberg, Dallas Cowboys Radio. Getting back to Jason Peters, took 4 snaps. Was that injury related? Did he have to come out or?
Oh no, I just think the biggest thing with Jason, is I think he's doing an outstanding job, especially with the extra work that he's put in. So he's looking better and better each week. So and it's just, really, the continuity, the communication, those are the things that just him not being here that we're continuing to work on. Connor's battled some things earlier in the season, so we just wanted to let Connor go, and then if we felt like we needed to make an adjustment there, we would.
So I'm assuming though that you didn't say let's get Jason 4 snaps going in.
Well, I would like to got him more work. He was the projection was to play him in the 3rd series. Unfortunately, it was only 4 plays. So, and then we would revisit it in the second half.
David, you're up. Michael passed, so you're up.
You talked about the tackling being a premium going into the game, and they were able to gash you in a few cases, but is their running game unlike really any other? I know Detroit has it. They're a different style of running. How does Philadelphia stack up with some of the other running teams?
I think conceptually it's definitely unique. They do a really good job challenging you. It's something that if you get back into just the characteristics of what run defense. The challenges that you have. It's with the way they evaluate the C gap. The quarterback involvement is as a full-time player is a real challenge. So it's just. It's just like anything. You have to add one more player most of the time to your run defense when the quarterback is that much of a primary force. So, just getting those fits and the way they stretch and combination, particularly, with the double tight end looks, the movement and so forth, and stretching that C gap. If you look at some of those runs. That's obviously a starting point. It's always been for me when I put together run plans, and then particularly when you go to the 5 down fronts, they did a good job with their stutter play, angle pull schemes, counters, whatever how you guys communicate that. So it's definitely a heavy scheme, heavy stress because of quarterback involvement.
Mike, offensively, how much more settled are you guys from the last time that you saw Dak? Gallup's back. You mentioned the offensive line. You got the young tight ends that are coming in. Your offensive line. Tyler's actually played more than one game at left tackle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tyler just needs to keep playing, and so does Connor McGovern. He's a first-year starter too. I mean, we're extremely young on offense, and our best days are ahead of us. I mean, I think I'm being Captain Obvious here, but we still have a lot of work to do, and that's been our approach. But I would definitely think that when Dak last played, obviously there were some young spots there. Dalton, hopefully we can get him back this week. So we definitely have a chance to continue to prove. Having Michael in there definitely is a big plus. Yeah, I mean it's Jalen Tolbert was up, so I mean he did a couple nice things in his limited reps. So we're definitely, I would say, our improvement is we're starting to climb.
Third downs, same issues as it's been, just been bad
I think
situations.
it was more first down, right? The more normal D&D, first down is second 1 to 7, 36%. I'm not exactly sure what the stat was, but it just we weren't quite good enough there. We were actually pretty. I think we were 71% second and long. So we just got to be more consistent in normal down distance.
Michael Galkin, Dallas Morning News. It looked like the Eagles ran the same play twice in the first half in pretty big situations, the 4th and 3, the mesh, and the wide receiver and the flat.
What do you think of the play, Michael?
Well designed.
Do you think it was well designed? Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Better check your rule book there, young man, but that's fine. I'm just suggesting.
But, well, what did you make of, I guess, that concept?
Well executed. It's
Yeah.
well executed. Yeah.
Okay.
What was illegal? What was not?
Unnecessarily illegal.
What was not following the rule book?
No, I mean we were in man, and they they anticipated it, and I thought the pick was good, and it was clear, and it was a big play for him.
Is it one of those then is there more to it than simply tipping your hat?
Well, I mean we have options. We have options and adjustments that we can make to that. I mean obviously zones is an option, and so I mean these are the things we talked about today.
When it was such a short, I think it might have been, the interception was in between those two drives, and so there wasn't much chance on the sideline to have corrections. Does that impact the ability to make those adjustments when?
I wouldn't say so, because we had a play earlier in the drive, actually on first down, that we were communicating, just reminding our guys that potentially, to look for the picks and rubs. That's something that they do a lot of. I think they had 7 the prior week, so. So I mean that's something we practiced. It's something that we were anticipating, and we just didn't execute it, and the best as we could.
Sorry.
Now that you had a chance to look at the tape, I know what you said last night about what the official told you on the sideline. Did you go back and look at the play, the fourth,
Yeah,
the single down play? Because it looked like he got the first down.
Yeah, no, I agree with the assessment that the ball cleared the marker before the knee was down. But I took you through the whole. Exactly how it went down last night. I mean, that's the facts of the matter. We went from a first down, then a fourth down, and I just think the way it all went down. I mean, the only thing. Obviously we didn't convert on the fourth down, so I think I know those are the kind of things that keep me up at night. That was a risky call based on the field position, but when we saw the diamond front and we knew it was going to be man or match, so we got the coverage that we were looking for the play. So it's a. I would definitely say schematically it was the right call for that situation. Our execution could have been cleaner.
On the Eagles' final touchdown, looked like they had a lot of men downfield. Did you notice that some of the offensive line were downfield?
Okay, next question, please.
Going back on the Lamb first down, is that another case too of your feel for the game and how it was unfolding at that point, that you knew it was risky to go for it there, but you felt it was needed at that time based on what just happened to the defense?
Yeah, definitely. They had the momentum. I think that's a good point. That's part of it. I think clearly, the point of the game. I don't think I'd make that decision later in the game. Obviously. And frankly, I thought our defense. I think our defense had 4 sudden change opportunities, and they converted on 3 of them. The one we didn't convert on was the long drive there with 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So, so there's definitely, the confidence that I have in our defense too is part of those decisions, and 4th and inches, 4th and 1, so I mean that all factors into it. And like I said, what else the reality of being on the ball immediately, because we were worried about it not being a first down. It was a first down. We did have a lot of time to communicate, we had the full, good 20 seconds before, we made that decision too. So, I mean, all that factors.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.